Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where we are back on the 67 Camaro. Did a couple of videos on this wiring nightmare taken apart by a 13-year-old. What a disaster. But anyway, we're taking a break from this and moving on. So what we need, now what we're going to do on this video is change out the heater core. Last video or two we cleaned up all this firewall and painted it all up. So it's all done. It's all real nice underneath and everything, ready for a subframe. This is the heater box cover, goes right there. Checked out the blower motor, it does work. The heater core is right here. We'll take it out here in a minute, but it's all bent to shit. Somebody just mangled up where they come out right here, the ends. It's all so this whole box and behind here, it's just this cable. I think it's just this cable and this electrical plug here. Might be something over there. We'll figure it out, and then we can take this out. Okay, and we'll take all this out and make sure this is free. The flapper is free. We're gonna sand and paint all this box here, just like the front. All the firewall inside there, it's all just surface rust. That'll all have to be sanded down, pour 15. Then once we get this out, we'll put in the heater core, and then after it's all painted and everything, and I think I got some, this is the factory insulation stuff here. I got some insulation. We'll have to cut it to fit around there like a big gasket and put it up there to the 415, all that, and then put it all back together, make her look nice. Eventually I'll probably, well, I don't know, probably not with tariffs and everything now, get vintage AC on this, or just sell it like this. Yeah, it's not an AC car, so yeah, some people have mentioned vintage air will give you a block off plate for all this, and you block it off and use their stuff. Problem is that vintage air is very, very expensive. And then some people were commenting, yeah, there's alternatives to vintage air. There's, you know, stuff a lot cheaper on eBay and Amazon, I guess. So we don't know exactly what we're going to use yet. But for now, I'm not just going to leave it like this. Okay, so that's why we're putting in a heater core. We're painting all this stuff up and putting it all back together like it was factory. The vintage air or whatever, we'll deal with that later down the road. That'll be probably the very last thing to do on this car, priority wise, you know. So little did I realize, I'll just go on online and order a heater core. Well, there's different heater cores for big blocks, small blocks, with AC, without AC. And you know, you would figure this be pretty common, small block without AC. Now most of them are all the listings that come up were all the other ones, and all different prices, high, sky high. A while back, probably 6 months ago, before the tariffs, I needed a heater core for the '69 Chevy van, and they don't make them. If y'all been following along, '69 van there, they don't make them. And then they got all these groups and pictures and stuff of what you can use and what you have to do to make it fit. And so I was figuring out on my own, what can I do to make one fit? Well, I bought a couple of them because they were cheap, 20 bucks, 30 bucks. Yeah, not no more. Not no more. Most of these heater cores were like, cheapest one was like 67 bucks. So they're like more than double, almost tripled in price because of, you know, they're aluminum. You can get the original, whatever it is, copper and something that it's made out of. But yeah, those the ones are like 150 to 200 bucks. We don't care about that. They don't get that cold here. We don't need maximum heat. But this aluminum. So anyway, that's what I got. But that wasn't, I forget now. Something about the listing was different. This listing was for a '68 Nova or something. Then it was like a little bit cheaper. So I ordered that. We don't know if it's gonna fit or not, but we're gonna make it fit because, you know, we're not spending the $70. I think most of them were like 67 was the cheapest, 75 was the average. Yeah, we're not spending that. I think I got this one for 50, 55 maybe. So we're gonna see how it fits in there. Okay, and I gotta tear all this apart first. So yeah, that's the situation there. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We'll go over what we're gonna do in the in this video before we get started. As I mentioned before, this subframe is completely shot. They did the Dukes of Hazzard, all the bottoms bashed up, been all patched up, cracked, everything. It's completely wasted. Everything's worn out. All the bushings, ball joints, I'm sure everything's just shot. Subscriber a while back give me a subframe. Had to drive up there 3 hours to get it, 3 hours back. That I'm thinking like 67 to like the Novas are 68 to 72. Yeah, I think he said it was off a 68 Nova. Then somebody commented, oh, 67's all by itself. The 68 to 72s won't, they're different somehow. So I'm like, oh shit. So anyway, we're gonna get the 68 subframes over there. We're gonna lift that on my trailer, bring it up here, and we're gonna measure it out. And I think probably the measurements are gonna be the same, but I think they said the steering box or something is different for 67 only. So we're gonna have to look at all this, what's supposed to be off a 68 Nova, and make sure everything's gonna fit, because you know it's bare bones frame. There's nothing on it, nothing, which is good in some ways, bad in the others. So once we get that up here, now we're gonna clean it up and paint it black. Pour 15 it probably underneath and on top, and get it all ready to bolt underneath here, these 4 holes. Okay, and we'll mount it in there after it's painted. It'll just be a bare frame, and then we'll deal with doing something with all the suspension and steering and stuff like that. Okay, so that's what we're gonna plan on this video anyway. So anyway, let me get started with taking that heater box out of there. We'll get that out, set it up here, and see if that heater core's any resemblance to the original one. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay guys, I got that box out. Yeah, she's full of rust and stuff. Yeah, there's 3 levers on there, but here's the original. See, these were smashed right over. So yeah, they're all broke. There's no saving that. Okay, so that went in there like that. And then there was 2 clips. This clip here holds that end on with 2 5/16. And then this one just slides over that end like that. So that's how you take it off. Okay, then it had we'll reuse that. That went over the 2 deals there. So we're gonna clean all this out, lube up the, there's 1 lever there, 1 there, and 1 here. We'll make sure they all work. This is just I don't know if that comes apart or not. Yeah, we may have to take that off. Anyway, we're gonna clean it all out, lube it up, and then pour 15 everything. There's a little busted area there, some rust there. Maybe we'll put a little Dynaglass or something over that. I'm not gonna go too overboard, but okay. So, and we need to check the levers with it. These are the 3 levers here. So we need to make sure that they're all working too, the cables. Okay, so we'll check that, lube them up. Luckily nothing broke. Sometimes these little things here will break off, but nothing broke. And then this is the padding that went up there. But like I said, I think we're just gonna cut out, I'll show you here in a little while, cut out a gasket for it first, and then we'll probably lay a bunch of insulation down everywhere anyway. You know, I know that stuff is pretty damn expensive, but so yeah, you can see where I patched up there. We're gonna, yeah, it's kind of dark up there. We're gonna sand it all down and pour 15 it all. And like I said, as long as we can get a gasket first for this, and then we'll put the other stuff in there later. And found that old pencil. Don't know how long that's been in there. Maybe since the 60s. Another pen, and I don't know what that is. Maybe a little cocaine scoop. I don't know. Anyway, so let me clear all that out and clean all this out, and I'll be back. Oh, forgot to mention, yeah, it seems like this will fit. It will fit in there, okay? And then they give you just this one little strip of something to make a gasket, I guess. But like I said, I think I got some in the back of the 69 van. Okay, I'll be back. Hey guys, I'm going to show you something. Oh, I just dropped it. So I tipped it over and there was all kinds of shit in here. I thought it was a quarter, but it was too light. It's made out of like aluminum or something. So I took a little steel wool to it, just a little bit. It says Shell's Mr. President coin game. And then this is Fillmore. And it says something up there, but I can't quite read it. But I guess you collect coins of presidents, or coins, or whatever these are, tokens. And yeah, if any of y'all want to look that up on the internet, it might be worth a fortune, or somebody might need it for their own collection. Thought that was pretty cool. I'd never seen one. I never knew about a shell coin game. But yeah, how the hell would it get inside there? That's weird. Well, might have dropped down in here or something. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that. Okay guys, I got it all sanded and painted up underneath there. I'll show you that in the daylight. Okay, I just been sanding all this housing thing here. These do work, flappers. They need to be lubed, but I'm going to pour 15 at first. And then I'm going to put a bunch of lube on all them. There's 3 of them. One there, and one here. And that closes that one there. See it come up? Just a little. I got some good 3-in-1 oil there. I'm going to soak it in there. But anyway, that's, I just scuffed it up. I'm going to put some pour 15 on it, let her dry overnight. Tomorrow we'll put the heater core in, put it all together. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it all painted inside and out. Okay, I'm going to put some 3-in-1 oil down the little passages there for that. I got some of this oil here. We'll just let it seep down in. Well, hang on. Anyway, we'll get that. This little deflector diverter thing was all messed up on that side. That's factory there, but they had sprayed something and got all over spray on it, so I put a little flat black on that. We'll screw that back on there, and then we'll mount in the heater core on that gasket. Yeah, this gasket here goes around here. So we'll put that gasket there, then bolt in the heater core, and then what did I do with it? I brought it in, I think it's in the car. We're gonna put the insulation, it really just needs a gasket around there. I don't know if I should use a big piece and then cut it out. I might, but we'll go look at the inside. It rained, had a quick storm come through, so everything got soaked. Yeah, this is what it had on it, see? So that whole back area was just covered with that. And then, so we use a piece of insulation and just cut out like they did, I guess. Okay, so, yeah, see how the water got in there. I did put some more welds around that floor toe board area, and pour 15. We'll do the driver's side later, but yeah, I just got all pour 15 up in there. Yeah, we'll clean out this water. So yeah, I have to check out these. Let's see if these will. That one's working. That one's working. Uh-oh. That one's not connected. That one came off. We gotta take all this apart anyway, so we'll have to fix that. Yeah, this is the insulation that I got left. I think a subscriber sent me this for the van. I used a lot of stuff, but this stuff is so expensive. Not due to tariffs. It was expensive back when I was doing the van before tariffs. I mean, it was like 20 bucks for a little roll of it. I don't know what this thing is, probably 40, 50 bucks. Crazy. Yeah, I'll have to order some more, and we'll do a bunch of stuff. Probably put a couple of panels on the roof and inside the doors and all this area. The kick panels here are completely deteriorated, like that one. See that? Mainly because of a fire. Had a fire in here. Back seat was just about gone. And you can see all this, that's from the fire, the heat. So these are from the 68 Nova, and they seem to fit. I think this is the driver's side here, although this one's just about broken off. It is broken off on this. So these are just manual vents. Just pull that. It's either go on like that, and that trim's supposed to come up to here, but we can always cut that off nice and neat and put some other trim up there, because these things are very expensive buying them new. But yeah, we can lube them up, and I think it will fit. So we actually got some vents. I think these are well over $100 each. So we can save a couple $100 by cleaning those up, painting them black. Yeah, I don't know what was there. But yeah, they're not the best, but they're better than nothing. But we'll do that later. So yeah, we got painted it all up in there. Like I said, just half of it, and the rest of it's pretty good. It's still got a whole bunch of the red. You know, for doing a red interior, they sure did put a lot of red. All that cowl area was red. All under here was red. I mean, geez, they sure wasted a lot of red just for only having to paint that. You know, than this. Bug just flew down my throat. Okay, well, let me put that heater core together. Yeah, it didn't help much trying to block this off, did it? No, it went inside here. And like I said last episode on this car, we tested it out. This thing actually worked for being whatever this car is. 58 years old now? Jeez. So yeah, let me put all that back together. I'll show you, and then we'll move on to the subframe. I'll have to get a truck and a trailer over there, load it on there, bring it over here, and we'll get it in here somewhere. See if I can manhandle it in, and we'll check it out. Make sure everything mounts the same. I guess I'm worried about that steering box right now, but okay. So I'll be back. Okay, guys, I just wanted to tell you about this presidential coin game. First thing that came up was it was a game from Shell in 5 months in 1992, but that was a different game. Their coins had a little biography on the back, which this one doesn't. So there was a whole web page on that they were introduced in 68 and 69, and I just scrolled and read a few little things, but yeah, it was just a game. You collected them. If you had 3 of them that matched, it would be $5, and if you had the whole set, it'd be $5 grand, and all this. So yeah, Millard Fillmore is this one. So anyway, I don't know what they're worth. They had all kinds of links on Google, go to eBay and all that, so I don't know, it could be worth something. I also found this penny in there too, in the heater core, but man, it's so deteriorated. I took a little steel wool. If I put it in some not Coca-Cola, but some acid there, I'd probably find out what year it is. But anyway, just thought I'd let you know about that. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, I put some insulation up there and cut out the square. I got some aluminum tape here I put over. A little piece of plastic here was busted. A couple little rust holes there, and one little one there. So I just put some aluminum tape over that. So I got this screwed in there with the clips, and then reuse this gasket here. So I'm just gonna connect the cables back to where they were, and then and plug in this. Shit, that connection's a little. Shit. Let me take that apart and see what the deal is with that. And then set it up in there. And then the cover, it looks like it had some type of seal in here, but I'm just gonna put a big old bead of silicone around there and put it on there, tighten everything up, and she should be good. And then I'll put some tape around them heater core outlets there, so no water shit gets in there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it all back together. There it is. Need to tape up them. Yeah, I put a little silicone. Well, I put a bunch of silicone on the inside and then a little bit on the outside just in case it didn't seal. Anyway, that's it there. I should have went with the insulation over farther, but I can still do that. Like I said, I'll probably put some down here as well. But anyway, yeah, that's it. She's all hooked up, ready to go. Yeah, eventually we'll take all this dash apart, all this middle piece, gauges, all the wiring harness needs to be replaced. Oh, that little wire clip there, it's a little resistor in there. But the backing is like glorified cardboard, so it's real loose. Nothing was broke. So basically I took that out and then plugged it in so I could push up on the bottom, and then screwed that thing back into that when it was sitting on like over here, because it's right on the top. So anyway, it wasn't broke. Okay, so I think we'll move on to the subframe here in a little bit. I got some stuff to do. Might be later on tonight or when it starts to get dark. We'll bring the subframe over here. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I got the other subframe. It's really not that heavy, being everything's off of it. But anyway, put it on my trailer, drove it around, unloaded it here. So yeah, it's got a little scrape and dent under here, but nothing compared to this one. This has been Dukes of Hazzard jumped. See, she's all split apart there, smashed, and with everything being worn out, you know, all the bushings, I'm sure everything's just shot on it. So this obviously is 67 Camaro. This is, I was told, a 68 Nova. 68, 72 Nova is supposed to all be the same, so I guess it don't matter. Just by eyeballing it, it looks all the same. I asked AI if there was a difference in the steering, but then they brought up from this aftermarket place that makes these aftermarket subframes, and they say you had to modify the steering shaft. You have to modify a steering shaft to make it fit, but that's not for stock, it was for one of theirs, so AI kind of screwed up on that. But from what I can see, it looks like it bolts up the same steering box. But what do I do? Order parts for 68 Nova or 67 Camaro? I guess I can cross-reference them, you know, on eBay. You can don't have all the cross-reference stuff in there. And I forgot he had some A-frames. We'll go look at that here in a minute. Well, let's just go look at it. I think they were for the Nova. It's been a while since I went and picked this up like 3 hours away, 3 hours there, 3 hours back, about $100 in gas in my truck, and loaded up a whole trailer full of shit. Yeah, thanks. I can't remember your name, but yeah, thanks for giving me all that stuff. Other than the tires and the seat, he gave me, well, and that deck lid, he gave me all these rims, bunch of Chevelle fenders and wheel wells, and then this. So we'll bring these up. There looks like new bushings and ball joints in it. See? And I think, and here's the bottom one, new bushings and a ball joint. I think he said he rebuilt them and then just decided to go tubular. Yeah, well, hell, if they fit, if they're the same, I think we'll have to use them. So we'll go over. What I would like is the whole complete kit. Disc brake conversion, tubular A-frames, upper and lower. You know, the new spindles, the new rotors, just everything. And that's what I bought. For the 68 Nomad. Just looked it up on my eBay. It's 3 years ago, August 2022. Bought the whole kit, $1,102. I'm gonna add a clip in here in a minute. But I could check, but I don't think it included the coil springs. I think I bought them separate, but just about everything else, and that included the master cylinder brake booster, which I need for this. And I want power steering. I got standard steering on my 72 Nova, and I don't like it. I know people say, well, to put on the standard, it's got a power steering box on it, see? So people say put on the standard box and it'd be okay. Nah, it's still not Armstrong steering when you're, unless you're going down the road pretty fast, you can turn easily, but not stop and go, and it's just a pain in the ass. And you know, you want a hot rod, just go ahead and put the power in it, for me anyway, if you're gonna drive it. So we need a power steering box. And somebody, you know, people still mentioning about the 68 Nova parts car I bought for that 72. That's been long gone, guys. That was, I know it's probably in the opening thing there I put on before the videos, and it was sitting over here. But I sold a shitload of parts. I used a lot of parts of it. It was running drive and using the whole drivetrain for the 72 Nova, plus a bunch of other shit. And then I sold a bunch of parts off of it, front end, fenders, and hood, and then it was just a hole sitting there, pretty much. And a guy wanted the rear end and the subframe. He goes, I'll give you $800 for what's left. And I said, okay. And so yeah, he come with a trailer and picked it up. Now it was still full of shit, which I unloaded over here. It had like the wheel wells, and yeah, I just showed the vents, the little vent things, and I got another grill, miscellaneous parts. But anyway, you know, I made a bundle of money off that. That was a great parts car. I paid like $900 or $1,000 for it, and shit, I must have sold $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 worth of parts off of it. So I got all my parts for free and made money. Okay, so that car is gone. I mentioned it a long time ago that I sold it, but you know, people skip a video or two, so we don't have that to work with. It would have been great, but I got this for free thanks to a subscriber. So What I'd like to do is get a subframe kit like that, or a subframe, a front end kit. And somebody commented their video or two back and named off every little piece there, and I don't even know what he was doing. Named off, this piece is this price and this piece is that price. Well, you know, who knows? Do I want to do that and buy every little piece from different sellers and all that stuff? I'd rather buy the whole kit from somebody, and you know it's going to fit. You know, it's for that. So you don't want to, you know, buy parts from this place and then buy this parts and the disc breaks and they don't fit or something because it's not compatible. And but yeah, I did have a problem with that one, and I know there's been a few comments. Put it all together, and these top A-frames, they were just hitting the frame no matter what I did. And I finally went on eBay and I looked up for a I guess 6872 Chevelle. That's what the kit is, and it had a big gap here, and it was all curved different. And I looked at some other listings, sure enough. So I messaged him and I said, listen, you sent me the wrong. I said, everything else seems great, but these top A-frames do not fit. And he finally said, oh, just keep them, and he sent me like 200 bucks back. But then he mentioned, now this 3 years ago, now I'm gonna message him, because I told him I had a YouTube channel, and he says, oh, well, if you ever need another kit, let me know, we can work something out as a promotion or something like that. So yeah, we'll see if he can send me some stuff or give me a big discount or something. So that's what I'd rather buy, guys. The whole all new shit from one person, and you know it's gonna fit. Oh, so you know, a few people commented, oh well, what about them A-frames from the Nomad that you didn't have to send back? I don't know what they fit. Well, what do they fit? Since it's a Chevelle kit, well, you know, it's A body, so it, you know, be like a Le Mans or a Buick Skylark or an old Cutlass or whatever, A body, 6872 mainly. I'm thinking that they were probably 64 to 67 Chevelle upper control arms. That's what I'm guessing. I still got them new in the box, but you know, I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're for. So anyway, so now here's the problem. So we'll go on. Talked about tariffs again. I'm going to show you clips like 2 minutes long. So watch it, and it's proof for all you non-believers that say I'm just making stuff up. Places are price gouging. Back in, was it April? Whenever he first imposed the tariffs, and then China retaliated, then he retaliated 50%. So it ended up going up to 104%. It was 104 plus the 25%. No, I think he added, yeah, he added the 25% auto parts tariffs on in May. So it would have been 129% tariff. And now I have that kit saved in my watch list. I know I've saved it for 3 years now. Mainly, I was thinking about buying another kit for my 69 Chevelle, because mainly I was going to drive that car all the time, make that my main driver, but then we went with the Nomad. But anyway, it's in my watch list. So when I open my eBay summary, my watch list comes up and I see it. So when those tariffs hit China at, I guess, 129%, this went from 1102 to 1799, I think it was. And I went, holy shit. So when they knocked them tariffs down 50%, it went to 14. You'll see it here in a second. It went to like $14.79. So it was like $377 increase due to tariffs. Now, keep in mind, I mentioned this in the clip, but I had that in my watch list for 3 years, so I see it every day. Every other day I go on eBay and buy stuff. It stayed at $11.02 for 3 years. Never went up, stayed the same price. Then when the tariffs hit, boom, and then he lowered them again. So it, say, oh well, they increased after 3 years. No, it didn't. It didn't. This is all for the tariffs. Okay, I'll add that clip right now. I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is my eBay buying thing. Here is the front end disc brake conversion, tubular control arms and all that stuff that I bought for the Nomad. Now $1,102.50. But that was August 4th, 2022. It was 3 years ago. But I have this in my watch list, and I see it every day. Usually what you can do is click on this, but he must have ended this one and did another one or something, because usually that's how I can check prices. I click on that and then it'll bring it up to the current day auction or listing, but there's no link. It's 3 years old, and like I said, he probably changed it. So it's $1,102. So we'll scroll up here to my watch list. There it is right there. Same thing, $14.79. So it's gone up $377 due to tariffs. Now, like I said, this is in my watch list, so I see it every day. It was $11.02 for all them 3 years, almost 3 years, up until the first tariffs hit China, as obviously it's made in China, and it went from $11.02 to $1,790. And I went, holy shit. That's when they were 104% tariffs. Then when it got lowered a few months later, it dropped to $14.79. So that's the current price, paying $377 more due to tariffs. So there it is. Okay, so yeah, another tariff horror story there. $377 price increase. Do I want to pay that? No, but what are you going to do? So, a few comments were, well, just ride it out till it gets better. Well, the problem is, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. He hasn't even made a deal with China yet, so it could go through the roof, There was supposed to have been another 30% added on a week ago. Then he tacoed, and some people don't know what that term means. That's not a liberal term. That's a term made up by Wall Street. It stands for Trump always chickens out. So when he did all them 102% tariffs, the stock market just plunged thousands of points, and then he reversed it. So the stock market leveled out. So that's a conservative Wall Street term, taco. So when you hear the term that Trump tacoed, that means he reneged on the tariffs and calls it a pause. It's a pause till we work things out. Okay, so can you ride the tariffs out? No. We're stuck with Trump for 3.5 more years. See, so will he taco? I doubt it, unless we're heading to a recession. But will we hit it? Will it make him change his mind? He's not running for re-election or nothing, so he really doesn't give a shit. So no, I think it's just going to get worse. But you know, you never know. You know, the guy just changes his mind on a whim. Add, you know, 50%, 50%, another 30. He just, there's nothing predictable or anything about it. So, and when he, on his first term in 2018, when he put all them tariffs on lumber and, you know, wood, and he doubled the price of wood almost immediately, then steel and aluminum. Well, when Biden got in there, I thought, well, great, he'll do away with all the tariffs. No, he kept all the Trump tariffs on. So, so in 2028, whoever gets in there, most likely are going to leave the tariffs on there, especially if it's, even if it's a Democrat, because Democrats love taxes. They love them more than Trump does, because that's what tariffs are, they're taxes. So they'll keep them on, I would think. But you don't know. So can we ride it out? Can we wait a year, 3 years, and wait for the prices to go down? I doubt it. I doubt it. It's not going to get any better. You know, prices went up during COVID there. The fucking toilet paper and paper towels and everything just through the roof. Have they come down? No. Stayed the same. Just that's greed part right there. But anyway, I don't want to ramble too much about that. The problem is we need the parts. We're not going to put on junk parts. We might put on those A-frames. So anyway, I got to make a list. Well, I kind of got a list, but I need to look them all up and see the best deal I can get on a disc brake conversion, new coil springs, power steering box, disc brake conversion, brake booster, master cylinder. And then of course, you know, a lot of little stuff, like these brake lines, the brake hoses. Well, I think they come with a kit, the brake hoses. I don't think these steel brake lines do. Motor mounts. Let's see, I'm going to round up some motor mounts. This is, could probably, well, I don't know. It's got the same holes. Yeah, we're going to have to use those type of motor mounts. I don't think I have them. Just a lot of stuff. And then all that kit, I don't know if it included the tie rod ends, the center link, idler arm, pitman arm, all that stuff you can buy in a separate kit, pretty cheap. I think I bought them. I don't know if I bought them for. I think I was looking them up for the El Camino here. As a couple years ago, they were like 75 bucks for that whole front steering kit. But of course, it's probably doubled now. But I think I bought one for an S10 pickup one time. But anyway, that stuff. Coil springs, the shocks. This stuff can wait. Bumper brackets. Sway bar. Could I reuse that sway bar? Is it bent? I don't know. It's busted or whatever on the link ends there. Probably better to get a new sway bar, you know, whatever this is, 58 years old. Just stuff like that. We just need everything new pretty much. So that's what I'm gonna look up, and we'll come up with a price. I'll bring those other A-frames over here and see if they're the same as this, see if we can use them, you know. And people say, well, just rebuild your old A-frames instead of tubular. Well, those tubular A-frames are actually pretty cheap. So if you were to buy all the stuff for this A-frame, ball joint and bushings and everything, it would cost you just about as much as buying a new tubular one. And then you save all the labor. And I don't have a press and stuff to get these out. I always forget how to do them, and they're just a pain in the ass to get out unless you know exactly how to do it with a press and everything. And I don't have it. I don't have room for a press. I know they're not that expensive, but I just don't use them that much to for it to use up space. So, and I want to get the, you know, most of these kits are 2-inch drop axles. We don't want it drop 2 inches. We want it factory. We don't want some low rider. That's mainly why I bought that kit there, because mostly all the other kits were 2-inch drops, and I was like, no, that's not what I want. I want it to ride, especially with this one with a big LS oil pan on it. This one won't have an LS big oil pan like that. Yeah, and people ask me what drivetrain you're putting in it. Well, I don't know. I don't have one. We'll get to that when I get ready. We'll build the rest of the car first. And somebody says about the front end, I got all the parts for this front end. Some new stuff. Header, valance new, core support new. That's the good cowl. Got a new fender with a dent in it. A used fender is fixable. I think the wheel wells are fixable. So yeah, I pretty much got all the front end parts, all the sheet metal stuff. So anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to go over. So what we'll do, I'll look at this a little bit better, and we're gonna scrub this down, sand it down, whatever, and pour 15 it. Under, over, on top, underneath, everything. And coat it all good. We got the new bushings, and then we're gonna slide it under there and bolt it up, and put some jack stands under the front here, and then decide and wait on new parts. So that's where we're at. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, just been sanding this down. Gonna pour 15, this is the bottom, pour 15 this down, and then in the morning flip it over and do the top, and then bolt it in. So see you tomorrow. Okay guys, that's what I got done last night. Brushed pour 15 on there. Some people, well, why don't you spray it? Well, if you spray it, you're going to lose half of it through the air, so it's a waste. So I spend a little bit more time and brush it on there. That way, you know, you can do this whole frame with one. I buy those little 6-packs of pour 15 cans, 60 bucks. That's about 10 bucks a can. So for basically 10 bucks, you can do all this. You know, it's about as cheap as a spray can. And also, don't ever just Krylon something like this. Go ahead and buy the right stuff. Whether you don't like pour 15, use another rust treatment or whatever. Don't just spray some cheap paint on there and restored. No, put something on there that's gonna treat the rust and last. And remember, pour 15 is not UV resistant, so you don't use it on top of a car where the sun, anywhere where the sun gets at it, so the sun don't get at this frame. So although the top, if it's flipped over, the top's going to be getting sun on it for a while until I get a motor and a hood and everything on there. So I might just get a little bit of black paint and spray over top the pour 15 on the top. Okay, so did this last night in the dark. Well, I had a light here, but I did miss. Did I miss a few spots? Oh, right down here where the shot goes on. That little spot. Yeah, I got this side. So I'm just going to touch that up, and then we're going to flip it over. Now I got those plastic deals. I don't know how tall they're going to be. We might have to jack up the car more. I got these free from a neighbor. They're catering deals from a hotel, and I cut them down, and we're going to lay the frame on that. I got 2 of them that I cut down. There's a remnant, so I can throw them out eventually. Here's all the pieces. That's what we had the car on. I had the car sitting on that when I first got it because I had no rear end in it. So I made them little deals. So we're going to put them on here up, you know, once we flip it over. We're going to try not to scratch any of this, but if it does, we'll touch it up later. Flip it over and then paint the top of it. Maybe put a little paint, regular black paint over top of that. And I wanted to get this done this morning, but it's, you know, about 6:30 now. I got about 2 hours of daylight, and but it takes so long to dry. See, that's why I wanted to paint the other side this morning, and then right now would be ready to, it'd be dry. But I had too much stuff to do in the morning, and it was way too hot in the day. After that, after 12 o'clock till now, it's too hot. Sun just now went behind a cloud, fixing to go behind the trees, so we're good now. So anyway, that's the plan. Okay, so yeah, I'll be back, show you when I get it flipped over, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, so getting ready to pour 15 this, but I was thinking about it. It's no big deal. Let's see where the bushings go up in here, how it's all rotted around the edges. This one's not too bad. This one's rotted. That one's a little bit. So what I was thinking of, are these ones any better? See, what I was thinking of was cutting this off and welding them on that one. You know, basically use it as a big washer. You know, I don't have any washers that big. And it'll give it a little bit extra strength and keep it more centered from moving. So I don't know, let me think about that. Might weld them in there and then pour 15 it. Unless I can find something to fit around that, but I don't think I have anything like that. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I cut that out of there, and we're gonna weld that on there, something like that. I don't know, this one might be okay. That one's pretty bad. Anyway, let me do 1 or 2 more of these, and we'll weld her in there and then pour 15 it. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I cut those squares out of the other subframe. I only needed 2. I think that one and that one. But see, this is kind of double thickness there, so I thought, well, I better do this one here to give it the same thickness. So did it on this one too, although this is just single thick. I just went ahead and did that one as well. So we did all 4. I did pour 15 on this front, and just got to do the tops right there and those deals I welded on. And then we'll wait in the morning, and then we'll slide it under there and bolt it up with the new bushings and everything, and go from there. Okay, this is the little cheap welder I just got in, little flux core welder. I didn't go down to Harbor Freight. I was going to, but I think the last time, see, these are my old welders I got from Harbor Freight. I think they're Chicago Electric, and one screwed up. I think the main thing was the cord there for the trigger there. If you step on them and bend it, it don't work right. The wire gets jammed in there, and I think that's what happened. And then this one here has been lasted a while, and then the little button burnt up, and I took parts from there to there, and then I was welding with that one, and the tip touched or something, it like that, and the light was still on. It was still getting power, but it wouldn't the trigger wouldn't work. It wouldn't. So I swapped a bunch of parts over, and I couldn't get it working, and screw it, threw them out. But I had another cheap one like this I got from a sponsor that I've been using, and anyway, I think they were about 150 bucks or something last time I bought it, and that was a couple of years ago. They're probably 200 and something now. Anyway, I got this for 80 bucks, ship, tax, everything. Came with a roll of wire, a little face mask, a tip, and all that stuff. So just tested it out. It just came with the 30 wire. I like the 35, a little bit thicker. But anyway, that's what I've been using. The first time I used it on these. Anyway, let me pour 15 the rest of this. I'll be back. Okay guys, next morning. So here it is, all painted up with pour 15. I haven't checked to see if we got to jack that up. We may have to readjust the jack stands. Okay, we'll just go over. Here's the new bushings and hardware. So this would go like that. This would go underneath, and it snugs up to that. And this would hit the bottom of the floor, the braces in the floor, and just put in the new bolt and tighten her up. Okay, well no, that's this one here to the floor, and then those two are right here. I'll show this one better. They did kind of twist and stuff, taking them out. You know, they've been in there for almost 60 years. But if they do break, but you do get them off, you'd have to weld in this new brace thing here. I think they probably sell new ones of that, but anyway, that should go in there. I just put some WD-40 on there, so they should go in. And that's this side here. Now, what you're supposed to do is we have to get, although that one looks a little bit messed up, you get something that same width for this, and you put them in that hole and that hole right there, and that's to line it up so it's, you know, not off. So we'll find something to fit in there on both sides to keep that aligned, and then tighten it up. Okay, so but we'll get these back ones on there first and snug them up, and then line these two up, and then tighten everything up. Okay, once it's on there, this is the old brake line here, goes up to the master cylinder right here, and I cut that off because we're not going to be using this, and we're not going to be using this brake line. It's got rear disc brakes off a Blazer. They're a different line, and it's metric, and we'll eventually take this off the Blazer to put on. But for right now, it's junk. You know, it's old and everything anyway. Yeah, it went to here. It went right there. I just cut it off. It went to this one. Okay. The emergency brake cable is right here. I haven't checked if it works. It may work. This goes to the foot lever and the driver's side there, and then your brake rear end brake cable goes through here. And we got a different setup. Well, it's different, but it should work on this. We'll figure it out. But this right here on this clip go through this hole right here, and then sticks out here, and that clip goes right there. Okay, so we need to hook that up as long as this all works. So that's what goes on this side, the emergency brake cable, and then this brake line, but we're not putting the brake line on. On this side is the fuel line, which I believe goes in these clips here. I got a whole roll of high pressure new brake hose sponsored by Evil Energy, and we don't know if we want to use that whole roll, but this is the original fuel line here. See, she's pretty long. I'll check that real good, blow some air through it. If it looks okay, we might use most of it and use some of that new fuel line for the end here that goes in the gas tank, and then eventually I piece up the other side to the engine. So that's what goes on in the subframe back here, and then of course all the suspension and stuff goes up here. But for right now, let's get her bolted in, and with the new hardware, this is so I bought the whole kit. Here's the original bolts, but we'll use the bolts that came with this kit. Yeah, I spent $109 for that. I don't usually spend that much, but I wanted all this hardware stuff. And then this, what left over, is for the radiator support, I guess. Nah, they look kind of small, but anyway, let's get this in, and I'll be back. Okay, I wanted to mention, obviously you can't get inside this frame here very good to coat it, you know, in here. So even with a spray gun, you're not going to get very far and coat everything. So what do? Well, you know, other than having it professionally dipped and coated and all that, you could buy, I haven't checked into other brands, but that I bought a can of that Eastwood spray can, if you've been following along, and I did it in those roof braces in the roof inside. And it's supposed to have it's a long tube, comes off the big spray can, but it's 40 bucks. That's the problem. And it's supposed to be like a 415 type rust encapsulator, and it's got a little tip on it. It's supposed to be a 360 degree deal. So sprayer, so you would stick that in some hole in a frame or wherever you're coating, and shove it through there and spray it. And then it's supposed to, you know, spray like this. But it sure didn't last very long for a big can. And it's 40 bucks a can, so it's very expensive compared to how much, you know. I would say you would probably use 4 cans at least to cover the inside of this. Stick it in here, stick it in here, stick it in here, spray. Yeah, you'd probably get half of one. 4 cans at 40 bucks, that's 160 bucks. To me, it's not worth the price. compared to doing this whole outside for 10 bucks, you know, 160 bucks for that. Is there any cheaper stuff? I don't know, but I figure I'd try it. So I just thought I'd add that. If y'all want to, you can do it later. You don't have to do it while it's like this. I said you can get under there, and there's holes underneath here, and put in a sprayer and coat everything. But we're not doing that right now. So okay, I just thought I'd add that. Okay, guys. I just used the old bolts there to go in the hole. So I put a bolt in each side to guide it. Well, that ain't coming out. Hang on. Anyway, I think that's about the best we can get it. Okay, so they're tightened in there, and here's the two back ones. So that's it. You can see that bracket, that's where the emergency brake cable comes out. We'll test it and mount it next. Okay, and then this is the emergency brake cable originally from the Blazer. See, I think we can take that out and reuse that. But this has there's another bracket somewhere, I think, that we gotta mount that to the floor, rocker, frame, something. Well, I can't mount it to the frame, but anyway, we're gonna test that out. Okay, yeah, so that's about it. Okay. I don't know whether leave it on jack stands or just leave this deal here on it. Probably just leave this on here. Take it off the jack stands. Okay, well, I'll be back. Here's what was left of that right vent. See, she's in bad shape. So, like I said, I think it was all from the heat from the fire. So, thought I'd show you that. Okay. Okay, guys, I got the emergency brake on there. It seems to work. The handle and the cable. So, see, normally it would go out to a cable on that side, and then one on this side, and it would pull them evenly. Well, this S10 Blazer rear end, you know, it's disc brake, but it's got this deal on it where both of them go into one. And I'll have to look, but there's another bracket. See, this all bolted to the frame of the Blazer. Had a bracket there to keep that stiff. And I think there was something else up here. And anyway, it's just got the one deal that would go into here. So we're gonna have to route that different, you know, without hitting the drive shaft, because it's, for one reason, it's too long. And we'll have to mount it to like the rocker or the floor or something. Anyway, this is the old brake line there, but like I said, we're doing away with that. I don't have the other brake line off the Blazer yet, because it's underneath something. It's, see, I got the line where it unbolts, unscrews, and the other line goes up to the front, but it's all underneath something. I think it's underneath the gas tank or something like that. I'll have to deal with that later. Okay, this fuel line here, I just put some air through it and it's clogged up, you know. So Evil Energy sent me this stuff here. It seems to be the same diameter. You know, and it's the, you know, heavy duty. You can see the plastic in there, and then the braided stuff on the outside. So it's pretty strong. It'll be just as strong and everything as this one. So this is all what they sent me. Of course, most of this is for fuel injected setups, LS swaps, all that. But we're just using it. Well, we don't know what's going in this yet. Could be an LS swap if I come across one. But yeah, they give me all these connections and stuff like that. I forget what this one was. Oh, this was an oil catch can or something like that. I didn't ask for that, but anyway, we got that, and then this, and they give me a wrench and everything. So we'll see how long this is. It should fit from the back to the front, and maybe we'll hook that up. What I got is these little deals here, and we'll have to put that like in the floor or something, and clamp that the whole line up real good. Tuck it under there. You don't want it flopping around and burning with the exhaust and rubbing and wearing through. But this is remnants here of the old fuel line. I just cut it right there. Just had a little bracket there, and then this had a little rubber hose into the gas tank. See, so basically we just need to run it from this line, and we'll run it along the inside of the frame and all the way to the front. But yeah, coming up here somewhere, and we'll have to do this ground wire. That should go right there. Even the ground wire lines up in the same spot. This is ground from the frame to the body. But anyway, I think we can do that later. I'll put a link and everything for Evil Energy if you ever need stuff like that. I'll put a link in the description below the video. Okay, and I think we'll leave this at that. I'll bring those A-frames over. I'm going to do some research about buying all these front end parts and stuff. And you know, I asked before on the previous videos there, any of you pro-tariff tax guys want to donate, I got a address in the description, my email address. Take PayPal through there, clunkersandclassics@gmail.com. Yeah, if you're pro-tariff, send me some money for paying for this. Nobody sent the $70 each for the windshield, so I don't know what the problem is. You know, you would think I'd get a whole bunch of offers in from these pro-tariff people, but nothing yet. So yeah, still taking donations. So yeah, eventually these prices keep going up. That cars like this might be worth fixing up, but these ones won't. They'll have to stay at the junkyard and be crushed, because you can't just be spending double and triple the money building them. It's just not worth it. There's no profit in it. You just have to do it for labor of love if you're keeping it. But yeah, you can make a little bit of money on that, but it's all going to be taken away from the profit. You know, if I was to guess on this, I would say it's going to cost $2,000 to $3,000 extra just in tariffs, because I still got all the interior to buy. Well, I already spent what, $2 grand on the body parts and stuff, and got to spend another grand or two on the front end miscellaneous parts. So you know, buy all the interior, wheels, tires, you know, just crap like that. Yeah, I'm guessing $2,000 or $3,000 extra to build this thing due to tariffs coming right out of my pocket. I spend probably $1,500 to $2,000 a month on parts and materials and stuff. So I'm paying a lot. You know, if I got to pay an extra $400 or $500 a month buying parts, that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit for me. You know, some millionaire building their hot rod wouldn't care, but That's coming right out of my pocket, right out of the profit that I would make selling this, even though I don't really need to sell any cars or anything like that. But anyway, yeah, we pay the tariffs. Don't be fooled. China and those other countries, they don't pay the tariffs. American businesses pay the tariffs and pass the cost on to the American consumers. We're paying it, not the other countries. You're being fed bullshit if you think otherwise. It's on the news today what Walmart and Home Depot just announced yesterday. Their prices are going up. They were reluctant to say it at the beginning, but now they have no choice. Everything's going up. Like I said before, they had warehouses, months worth of supplies before the tariffs hit, and they're running out. The warehouses are being depleted. They got to be replenished, and they got to be replenished with the higher priced tariff goods. So now we got to pay it. So yeah, we're paying it. Okay, well, we got somewhere on it. Like I said, let me do some research and see what I can find on these front end parts. Come up with the best deal. And then a later video, we'll put all the front end and disc brake setup and everything on there. In the meantime, we might do some work that doesn't require spending a bundle of money, and that's probably not a lot to do without buying interior parts and doing the interior work. But we got to strip the roof and fix it. I think this side here's got some waves in it, but not as bad as I originally thought, because it was all flopping here when it was apart, since we reinforced that. But anyway, this got to be all stripped down the metal and fixed and primed. Same with the two doors. So we can do that without spending too much money. I already got some body filler and primer and stuff, but yeah, a few videos without buying shit would be helpful right now, because I'm just pissed off that I got to spend all this extra money buying shit. It's just needless. It's just so anyway, yeah. But after that's done, yeah, the front end, and then we got to buy all the interior somehow. We could paint the interior. Like I said, I think we're gonna go silver. We could paint all the dash and the top of the door panels. But yeah, I got to buy all that dash shit, gauges and bezels and crap. Just not looking forward to door panels. Not looking forward to buying all that stuff, but it's got to be done. What are you going to do? Like I said, you can't wait it out, and just got to take it right up the ass. No Vaseline, no nothing, just but yeah, like I said, things are have got to change, or going to change here shortly. We're going to have to, I think will. Like I said, we just can't afford to fix up stuff that ain't worth a lot of money. And well, okay, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Yeah, tail lights, gonna buy tail lights, front bumper, front grille, tons of stuff. Thousands of dollars worth. Okay, well, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see y'all next video.